no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. Today, we are going to go behind the Harmony EP, which came out not too long ago. I released this EP, I think a while after the Mayhem EP. This was like an EP I hadn't really planned releasing. This was something that kind of like, it was an idea I had. I was like, maybe I should do this, maybe I shouldn't do this. Because I wasn't too sure if I was gonna release more music after the Mayhem EP, because I was just like, I couldn't. But I almost found this EP to sort of, I don't know, I found it to be fitting to title it the way I titled it, because the Mayhem EP was titled the Mayhem EP, and then titling this Harmony, which is the opposite of Mayhem, kind of worked out. So it was kind of a fitting thing. But this is the more neutral side of music. It's the more neutral side of things, instead of the whole Mayhem EP kind of being negative. This is more neutral. And we're going to start with the first track I released off of this, which was called Sunrose. So why don't we just get into it, man, and just dive on in. Let's go ahead and do it. So we're going to start off with Sunrose, which this song, for those who don't know, the whole reason I wrote this song was after I finished Luck of the Draw, which was the first Free Realms Sunrise story I had written. And and I'm going to spoil it because it's going to be part of the lyrics, but this whole song was because of Luck of the Draw. This is what it was all about. And you'd basically have to read the entire story to understand this song, which it's hard to, like, you know, it's kind of hard for some people, but like that's literally how you'd have to that's what you'd have to do to understand it. But how Luck of the Draw ends is it ends with all of the Realm Keepers going out in kind of a blaze of glory, and the last person, or I guess the main character of the whole thing, which was am I gonna forget his name? Oh, Bryce. Bryce is the one who defeats Dark Cheat at the end of the whole story, and defeating Dark Cheat allows for the sun to finally rise, and he was the last person to see the sun rose, or sunrise or whatever. But basically, that's what happens, and he's the last person to see it. So now I'm gonna go through and explain the lyrics, so that you kind of know what this is all about. This is all about a Luck of the Draw story, so let's get into it. We don't get to choose when it's time to fight. This realm is only so free as long as we stay alive. So free realm. So we don't get to choose when it's time to fight. So Bryce was kind of thrown into this whole story like he was asked to do this whole thing. He was asked to protect these 4 shards, and it was kind of like sudden, so we don't get to choose when it's time to fight. We don't get to choose, usually. That's the whole thing, and like Bryce went out and asked 3 other people to help protect these things, and you know, they were supposed to protect him, and you know, that was the whole thing, and they didn't know if they had to fight or not. There wasn't an actual fight or battle in Luck of the Draw until Dark Cheat came into play. So yeah, but this realm is only so free as long as we stay alive. So basically, without the Realm Keepers, there is no free realm. The realm would be like locked, you know? It wouldn't be free. But yeah, it's days like these I fear for the rest of my life. That luck is just a card that you draw in time. So like, you know, it's days like these I fear for the rest of my life. So like every day, that luck is just a card that you draw in time. So like, you draw a card, and hopefully it's the right one you draw for every day for the rest of your life. So like, yeah, it's kind of the way, like, the first time I wrote Sunrose, the lyrics were not like this. It was weird, because when I wrote it the first time, I was trying to tell the story of Luck of the Draw. Literally, this is all like I was naming characters. It was cringy and it was bad, but like this was like the final version of what I was trying to write. But yeah, luck being a card that you draw in time for the rest of your life is kind of like you're basically drawing a card every day, and you're you know you're hoping you're lucky and you won't die, or it won't have bad luck. But that's kind of, that line is like, this is from, I think I wrote this in the perspective like of Bryce, and like if he kept drawing a card every day, trying to be, he's basically, it's a weird, like, it's a weird line, but it made sense for me at the time because like Luck of the Draw. But yeah, that's kind of that. But anyway, moving on to the next layer, because we've been on this for a while. The chorus. So where do we run when the odds seem impossible? So when the odds seem impossible, so basically going into that fight with like Dark Cheat, where do we run when the odds seem impossible? Because it was impossible. If you read the whole Luck of the Draw story, and during that fight, it seemed impossible. Do we give up just for them to be miserable? So talking about these citizens of Sacred Grove, do we give up? This is all probably, in my perspective, it's from the perspective of Bryce. So kind of read it, or hear it as it's Bryce. But do we give up just for them to be miserable? So the citizens of Sacred Grove, does it seem right to forget those miracles? So like miracles that happen along the way in the story. All these questions just sound invisible. Like all these questions are just kind of like, they seem pointless, like they're not even there. So the chorus is going to repeat, and I'm not going to go over it twice, but that's that. Verse 2. It's hard to believe that we're still breathing, but the battle's far from over. This wound's still healing. So this is kind of, so the first verse kind of goes over like the beginning parts of the story. Verse 2 is after that battle with Dark Cheat. It's hard to believe that we're still breathing, but the battle's far from over. This wound's still healing. So when the battle's over and like the sunset had happened, because again, I'm going to spoil stuff in this for Luck of the Draw. If you haven't read it, go read it. I also have videos reading it myself, so there's that. But yeah, it's hard to believe we're still breathing, because at the end of that Dark Cheat fight, and when the sunset happened, Bryce wakes up after like years. He wakes up after years, and it's hard to believe that we're still breathing, because he was the only one, at the time he was the only one that was awake. But the battle's far from over. This wound's still healing. So the whole fight's not over, because he has to figure out what's going on. We can't give up, not yet. Just believe in. Basically, we can't give up, because in that we saying we can't give up, because he ends up finding God, I'm gonna forget her name already, but he ends up finding another character in the story, and she's alive. But yeah, we can't give up, not yet. Just believe in. So basically, like they're not giving up yet. But yeah, and then goes into the course again. But instead of saying these questions are invisible, it just says these questions are, and then goes into the bridge. Irrelevant. No matter what happens, we'll get over it. Even when that sun sets. So even if the sun sets, like, no matter what happens, we'll get over it. The questions are irrelevant. Like, we'll get over it. We'll get back on our feet. So don't look back. Just keep healing. So the whole rest of the story for Luck of the Draw, once they wake up and they try to figure out what's going on, they go on this whole adventure of trying to find their friends and try to defeat Dark Cheat. So yeah, and then after that, do we run? It's pretty much just the same course repeated, but the outro goes, and when it, oh no, don't do, no, too. The outro goes, and when it's done, we'll celebrate the grove, even if we die. At least the sun rose. So the sun rose title isn't like mentioned at all until the very end. That's how I wrote it. I thought that was a great way to write it, because I was like, sun rose sounds like a weird title, because how do you write that into there? And I thought this was the best way to do it. And when it's done, we'll celebrate the grove, even if we die. At least the sun rose. So, and when it's done, we'll celebrate the grove. So at the end of the story, Bryce is just defeated, but he defeats Darkcheat. They both suffer some consequences. And when it's done, we'll celebrate the grove, even if we die, because at the end of the story, my favorite type of ending is when everyone dies. I know it's kind of morbid, but if anyone's seen Star Wars Rogue One, that is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time, because everyone dies, and there is a good ending, like, obviously, so this was the good ending. But even if we die, at least the sun rose. So Bryce, at the end of Luck of the Draw, got to see the sun rise. Like, you know, like it rise up as the sun set. When sunset happened, he woke up, and now he got to see the sunrise. He was basically the reason Sacred Grove got to live on, and that goes into Sunrise Stories. But yeah, this was the only song I wrote that that was about like the writing. I don't think I'm gonna make another song about this, about like my writing, but I feel like I wanted to do something with music after I had written that, because that was my favorite thing to write. But yeah, so that is Sun Rose. Now we're gonna get into the next song, which is Freemers. So I wrote this song immediately, like the Mayhem EP was done. I think during the release of the Mayhem EP, I wrote Freemers, because I was like, I gotta drop this. Like, I have to. Like, I have to release Freemers, because this thing, like, I had, like, written, like, some quotes down, in, like, my Crescent video, if anyone saw that. It was just, like, a huge collection of music and a single video. It was super long video, but I had wrote those quotes and I was like, I want to use these in a song, and Freemers was the outcome of this. I wrote this after the Mayhem EP, because I was gonna be like, okay, so I wrote this negative EP, but I want something to come out of it, like something good, and Freemers was it. So we all missed Free Realms. We were sad to see it go. When it shut down, it was known as the sunset. Free Realm Sunrise is a new beginning, and that's true. Free Realm Sunrise is this new beginning of, you know, it is this new beginning for anyone who's a fan of Free Realms. So the intro's it's not super hard to explain, but let's keep going. So the whole thing is just a one verse spoken word thing. Kind of going back into that, but goes, yeah, Freemers, how you been? It's been a bit, but I'm back again, because this, during the whole Mayhem EP, I changed my like channel. I changed everything to like gray, like which was just funny. Like everything on my channel was gray. And I thought, okay, now I'm gonna change the channel back, and we're gonna drop this song and be like, hey, I'm back. It's been a bit, but I'm back again. You're here for me. Good to hear it. Renegade sucks. That's the spirit. Because again, everyone that was in my Discord, or anyone who's a part of the Freemers community, was completely against Renegade, and they still are. Because everyone, like anyone with, you know, with a brain, anyone who's smart, knew what Renegade was up to, what they were doing. And everyone in my Discord knew they were bad people. So yeah, Renegade sucks. That's the spirit. I started this guild as a funny joke. It took off like a rocket. Blackout, you taking notes. So that is a shot to Blackout, which was basically Renegade before, you know, it was Renegade before they got canceled, basically. Because yeah, I started this guild as a funny joke, because the guild, I didn't think it was gonna, like, some people took interest in the guild, and it took off like a rocket, because it did. A bunch of people wanted to be part of the Freemers community, because, or even in the guild, because they wanted to be a part of a community. And then, like, Blackout, you taking notes, because Blackout got canceled because Styles was transphobic towards someone, and that funny joke line, someone in the Discord, in the Free Realm Sunrise Discord at the time, said, Someone say something funny, and Styles said like I don't know, like he/her. He made a joke about someone's pronouns, and someone took offense, and he's transphobic. So yeah, Blackout, you taking notes. Spread that positivity, because one screw up and we're history. Another shout to Renegade, because one screw up and we're history, because Renegade screws up a lot and they are history. So yeah, can't be like them. No negativity. That's right, we're here to stay, ready for the sunrise, come out and play. So yeah, we're here to stay. Like, Freemers aren't going anywhere. We're not. That's just simply put. We're not going anywhere. And then build our rep up. Can't quit now. Got to fill our cup. Let everyone know we're ride or die the best round. No bias this time. There's a lot of bias in the Free Realm Sunrise community for sure. But our guild is different, dude. Our guild is different. This is basically talking about our guild and what we're all about. And it's basically a whole shout to the Freemers and how good we are as a guild in the community. So come on in, take a seat. Without you, we're incomplete. So talking to someone who's not in the Freemers yet. Like what you see, I wrote this book. Here's a rand tour. Go on, take a look. These memes we make, they're quality, they're great, because we make a lot of memes. We're all about memes in the Freemers community. Welcome to the guild. You'll fit right in. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a war to win. Woo! Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a war to win. And I have won that war. It's all done. It's all said and done. It's history. And then we end with the outro. We need to look to the future to see the bright horizons that await. There's no game like Free Realms, and this guild is proof of that, being the Freemers. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became butterfly. And that whole caterpillar butterfly thing, that's going to come up in another song, not on this EP, but another one. Stay tuned for that. But it became butterfly. So yeah, that's how the song ends. It's very short. It's just something I wrote off the fly, and I thought it was great to release after the Mayhem EP. But yeah, and then again, I wasn't sure if I was going to do any more songs after this. Like, I wasn't sure. But I had written a lot of stuff down, and I wanted to do more. So then we got Sunrise. So I'm kind of following this theme of like the sun theme. So I kind of go in like a specific order for this, but yeah. Going into this one. So this is another rap spoken word type of thing. I don't do this for any of the EP except this one. Like, this is the last one after Freemers, but yeah, let's get into it. So we made it. It's finally here. I've been smiling from ear to ear. So talking about Free Realm Sunrise, this is like kind of a this is a song for like when it releases, because there's no actual like ETA. There's no date whenever this comes out, but we made it. It's finally here. I've been smiling from ear to ear. You wouldn't believe what I've seen. This community can be so mean, because the community can be so mean, like really, really mean. Like toxic, but I digress. If you know, you know. What a mess. Can we move on? So if you know, you know. If you've seen the stuff in the community, you know. But let's move on. Let's move on. What a mess. Can we move on? In my mind, game's out. In your head, it's a drought. So talking about like most people in the community, you know, I imagine in their head they think the game's gonna come out and it'll be out. But then like in everyone else's head, like, in your head, it's a drought, so referring to, like, anyone who's been toxic in the community, in your head, it's a drought, because you're just, like, you've got this toxic mentality, in your head, it's a drought. Let me imagine a perfect world where it happened and life's not so cold. Here, let me paint the picture, because this verse is getting old. So basically, the whole point of this song is talking about sunrise, Free Realm Sunrise, and talking about how it's going to happen, you know? That's what this is all about. But then going into the course, if we gave up all we had, would it be the end? Like, if we gave up everything in the Free Realm Sunrise community, would it be the end? If we just fought back, would we believe again? Believe that the game is coming out? The road we chose, so we chose fighting back. It gave us hope just in time to finally see the sunrise. So, it gave us hope just in time to finally see the sunrise. So, basically talking about, like, if we fought back, if we believed again, and the road we chose, it gave us hope. We'd actually finally see this happen, the sunrise. Pretty simple chorus to understand, not crazy hard to comprehend, you know. But let's keep going. So I find it funny that we're all adults, but act so crummy. Because, like, yeah, we're all adults here, and everyone acts like a bunch of children. Like that's we act so crummy, like we act like insane, you know? Like it's just a children's game. But yeah, think about it. When we were young, this game was all we had. It was so much fun. Like when we were young, this game was all we had. Like we didn't have anything else. There were other games that we probably played, but like Free Realms was all we had. Now, let's go over this next line. Remember how Free Realms was FTP, free to play? Did you know it stood for free to be? And so that line actually comes from one of Natalie Claire's interviews. It was such a good line. I was like, I have to write this in a song. Now, if Natalie actually saw the video, I don't know if she recognized the line, but that was from one of her interviews, I think with the community manager of Free Realms, of SOE or whatever. But yeah, super, super good line. This was like, you know, everyone thought the game was, you know, was free to play, but it actually was free to be. So not free to play, free to be. I thought that was such a good line to write in there, but yeah, that came from Natalie Claire's interview. So shout out to Natalie. Shout out to Natalie. But did you know Free Realms? So remember how Free Realms was FTP? Did you know it stood for free to be? You didn't. That's so bizarre. It makes sense. You've been playing OSFR. So if you didn't know that, you've probably been playing OSFR. And I thought that was just a funny line to write in because, yeah, if you didn't know it meant free to be, you've probably been playing OSFR. Yeah. I can't really explain that line too much other than like, it makes sense once I read the next line. Time to log off, get on the real one before they call it off, and then we're done. So this is something a lot of people don't know, that if there's a lot of people doing the same project, so like if so there's Free Realms Sunrise, there's OSFR. With there being so many projects, there is a higher risk of Free Realms actually getting like the whole revive process getting pulled. Like that plug can be pulled by Daybreak or whoever owns Free Realms, EG7. But yeah, if there's multiple Free Realms projects, there's a higher risk of it getting shut down. And OSFR being a thing worries me because I feel like, oh, well, that's that then. Like that can get shut down. It can happen. There is a high chance. So get on the real, time to log off, get on the real one before they call it off, and then we're done. So basically, like with OSFR, it's a risk having that around. Free Realms Sunrise being the only project is probably would have been the best, you know, bet. But yeah, you know, people will be people. But anyway, then it's the chorus again, and then we're gonna skip that. And then last verse. Listen, I don't expect you to get it, but I'm trying to explain. This is pathetic. So all the bickering, all the toxicity, and all that stuff. This community is like the sanctuary tree. Every root is one of us, don't you see? So yeah, the community is like the sanctuary tree, that big tree in the middle of sanctuary. We're connected, you and me. So don't be corrupt, or the tree burns down, and then the game erupts, and we're left with nothing. So yeah, like once the community is corrupt, I mean the tree can just become corrupt, you know, or the tree burns down, then the game erupts. So the game shutting down basically. So the community being toxic mixed with like OSFR, that's how the game would shut down, you know. And we're left with nothing, anything so abruptly. So I'm gonna break it down. Don't interrupt me. So and then going back to the chorus, if we give up all we had, would it be the end? So repeating all that, this whole song is basically talking about like how toxic the community's been and talking about OSFR and the game shutting down. And yeah, it's all about we need to see this sunrise. We need to see this happen. Otherwise, you know, with all this toxicity and, you know, with people trying to do OSFR, it's like so many things risk it shutting down. And we need to fight back and believe again and have hope and see the sunrise. So yeah, that's kind of what this whole song was about. That's literally all it was about. Pretty easy to explain, but yeah. Anyway, let's get into the next song, Nostalgia. So this song was like, oh no, don't do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. This song was pretty much about nostalgia. That's all it was about, because a lot of people have nostalgia for Free Realms. Now, I'm not a huge nostalgia guy, but I thought writing a song about it might have been a cool idea. So the intro. yeah, I miss it, Free Realms, but just because it's gone doesn't mean the memories are. So yeah, I think a lot of people like to reminisce about those times during Free Realms, and like a lot of people in the Free Realms Sunrise Discord would bring up those nostalgic talks, and sometimes I didn't mind them, sometimes it got annoying, but it was kind of like nice to see the community bond over that. You know, it's something that's not toxic, and they can just have conversations about it. But yeah, but anyway, going to verse 1. I want to dream of days I missed that game I played. Why do I keep doing that? I need to stop. I want to dream of days I missed that game I played. So I want to dream of days I missed, like the days that I missed of playing Free Realms, that game I played. One I wished would return, but it burns, that it's gone. So all I have is the song. So like for nostalgia, like this is all anyone has, you know. Sorry, trying to grab my water so I don't like lose my voice doing this. Yeah, but it burns, that's gone. So all I have is a song. So it burns that the game is gone, and you know, one I wish would return. Like a lot of people want this game to come back. I was hoping Daybreak would just revive it, you know, but they never did. So when I wish return, but it burns, that's gone, because it burns a lot of people. Like people are mad that it's not back, and that's gone. So all I have is a song, nostalgia. So all I have is nostalgia, basically. And whatever remains is in the back of my brain. So basically, like the memories and stuff like that of Free Realms is in the back of the brain. And then going to chorus, not even like there's no pre-chorus. It goes, so let's go to Seaside, build that Freeman lot. So using the Freemer terms, if you haven't seen my video on Freemer terminology, please go watch that. It's important. Eat at the cafe like we never forgot. The what's it called? I literally have a hoodie of this thing. The am I gonna hold on? I've got the hoodie right here. The Ocean Treasures Cafe. Yes, the Ocean Treasures Cafe. Eat at the cafe like we never forgot. And I know that you'll see that nostalgia is me till the end. So yeah, like all these things, like going to Seaside, building that Freeman lot, eating at the cafe like we never got. And the person that, you know, you're since I know that you'll see that nostalgia is me till the end. So yeah, like a lot of people are nostalgic in the server, and this is kind of singing to a person, like, this is why I'm so nostalgic. You'll see that nostalgia is me till the end. So like till the end of like Free Realms never coming back, which even with Sunrise, like there's a chance it can get shut down. There's not really a chance I'll stay up forever, but let's keep going. I lose so much sleep thinking about it because, you know, for someone who wants this game to come back, they probably lose a lot of sleep. It makes me weep, but you know, I'll keep these memories alive. Like, you know, I'll keep these memories alive. Like, as long as Sunrise releases in time. So, like, as long as Free Realms Sunrise is coming out, like, I'll keep these memories alive. Like, they aren't going anywhere. Now, me personally, even in writing the song, like, me personally, I don't know if I still keep the memories alive. Sometimes, not all of them, but like the ones that are important to me the most. But yeah, anyway. But until then, I'll wait, because if I do, I'll be the first one through the gate. But until then, I'll wait for Sunrise, because if I do, I'll be the first one through the gate. So like, I'll be the first one through those doors of Free Realms Sunrise. But yeah, and then we go back into the chorus. Now the bridge, this is one I didn't really write myself. I rewrote it a bit. But this is actually off of a song that I really like. It's basically, it's literally called, the song is Nostalgia. It's by Driveways. Such a good song. But I wanted to include a part of the song into here because I thought it was just so good. And I thought it was really, like, neat to put in a song called Nostalgia. But I rewrote it a bit to make some sense for the song. Do we let go before it's too late? This game, it creeps in the back of my brain I can't get away. I wish I could escape, but any move I make leads to my destruction. I wish I could save my childhood, but it leaves me instead. Nostalgia, it lurks in the back of my head. Hide every memory, I'll drown in delusions again. So, do we let go before it's too late? So do we let go of Free Realms before, like, you know, before sunrise? You know, if do we let go of our memories of Free Realms before it's too late? Like before, like, you know, before we were to die, or before we, you know, all this, like, do we keep reminiscing on stuff that we had, you know, fond memories for, like super fond memories for, before we like pass on or whatever? This game, it creeps in the back of my brain. I can't get away. I wish I could escape, but any move I make leads to my destruction. So, again, this game creeps in the back of my brain, because it does. I can't get away. I wish I could escape from these memories and move on, but any move I make leads to my destruction. So, like, you really want this game to come back. I wish I could save my childhood, which we can't, but it leaves me instead. Nostalgia, it lurks in the back of my head. So yeah, I wish I could save my childhood, but leaves me instead, because again, the more time goes on, our childhood is just gone. Hide every memory, I'll drown in delusions again. So basically saying, like, hide every memory, I'll drown in delusions again. Drowning in the sense that, like, you're drowning in delusions that Free Realm Sunrise will eventually come out, and a lot of people do. But yeah, and then instead of a chorus, we get an outro here. We'll never forget. You know that, and I know that. You'll see that nostalgia is me till the end. So yeah, that is nostalgia. Basically, a song just talking about, like, explaining the nostalgia of Free Realms and how, like, everyone sees it and how nostalgia works for everyone in the Free Realms Sunrise community and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's nostalgia. And now we're going to get into my favorite song of the EP. Kind of like storytelling, but this one's like really special because I really like the lyrics in it. I like singing it. It was a fun time, but Sunrest. So there's a reason I like this song. Really good reason. Like, I think the verses for me are probably like a favorite of mine, because there was like a certain melody I was playing in my head from a different song that it's not the same exact lyrics, but they're completely different, but the melody is like the same in the way I sing it. So verse 1, I could write 1,000 pages, but you just throw all my memories away, like, where'd they go? So I could write all these different types, like writing in terms of like the Free Realm Sunrise lore I do. I could write 1,000 pages, but you just throw all my memories away, like, where'd they go? So like the people who criticized my writing, or the people who don't like my Free Realm Sunrise stuff that I write, but you just throw all my memories away, like, where'd they go? Like, you just throw them all away. Sometimes I just wish we could have hope. Instead of jumping off of ledges, it makes me choke. So yeah, like, sometimes I wish we could just have hope instead of jumping off ledges. It makes me choke. So sometimes I do wish we could just have hope, like have all this hope about Free Realm Sunrise coming out and all this sort of stuff. Instead of jumping off the ledges, it makes me choke, because a lot of people are just jumping off the ledges daily in the Free Realm Sunrise Discord when they don't have hope about Free Realm Sunrise coming out, and it does make me choke a lot of times. But yeah, into the pre-chorus. But I'd give anything to see it again, that sun on the horizon, even if it was the end. So even, I'd give anything to see the sun on the horizon, even if it was at sunset. So like, I'd give anything to be on that last day of Free Realms, just to be there again, just to see it, just to see it all happen again. Give anything, you know? But yeah, and then going to the chorus, falling fast asleep, even when I'm awake, pouring my guts out when I start to break. So yeah, falling fast asleep even when I'm awake. So being awake, like, falling fast asleep even when I'm awake. So kind of like this, like, I don't know, like this deja vu effect, I guess, falling fast asleep even when I'm awake. So like not being there really. Pouring my guts out when I start to break. So pouring all my guts out when I'm like writing the song, and like just talking about Freedom Sunrise. It's been years now, but I feel I must say, let the sun rest. We'll be okay. So it's been years now since Freedom Sunrise was shut down, but I feel I must say, let the sun rest. We'll be okay. So basically, let Freedom sleep. Let it be dead. Like, we'll be okay. Like, I think even after all these years, I'm okay with Freedom's never coming back, you know? I've come to terms with it, man. I feel like everyone should, but yeah, that's kind of like what the chorus is about. Like, I feel I must say, let the sun rest. We'll be okay. Verse 2. I might write a million lyrics, so song lyrics, and no one would know the pain I really go through. It leaves me so long. So no one actually knows what I go through in real life, even though they pretend to, but I might write a million lyrics and no one would know the pain I really go through. It leaves me so long. So you really got to pay attention to lyrics, but like you wouldn't even know me. You wouldn't really. It hurts me to say things I don't really mean. There's times I'm a mess, and it's the real me. So it hurts me to say things I don't really mean. Like, there's a lot of things I've said in videos or in like comments, like some stuff I don't really mean. Like, if you're taking everything literally, like with my memes and stuff like that, I mean, you're crazy. You shouldn't be doing that, but like, there's times I'm messing, it's the real me. Like, all the drama that was going on, man, crazy. Like, it was just leaving me. Like, that's why I wrote the whole Mayhem EP in the first place. But like, there's times I'm a mess and it's the real me. Like, sometimes I'm a mess, dude. I'm not perfect. No one is, you know? But anyway, keep going. Pre-chorus. But I'd give anything to see it again. That sun on the horizon, even if I was. And then going back into the chorus, but instead, but I feel I must say. And then bridge. This bridge is my favorite. So I knew I'd play that one game that made me feel tall when the world didn't want me and made me feel small. So I'd play that one game that made me feel tall, Free Realms. And kind of, this is kind of a shout back to It's Your World by the Dares. Because that whole music video is about, like, you know, having a rough day at school, just wanting to escape from real life and playing Free Realms. So when the world didn't want me and made me feel small. Because again, real life sucks, and sometimes you just want to go and play this video game that's like your escape. All I am is broken inside, some echo identity who can't find his shadow always hurts mentally. So, echo identity, and I will bring this up just because, like, it's not live, it's not something that I've, like, started yet. I am writing music that, that's like on the side. Like, I'm writing my own music, still writing. I haven't even produced anything, but it's some of my own personal stuff. The project is called Echo Identity. If you want to go subscribe to that channel, it is down below all of my video playlists on the main channel page. But that's kind of shout to like my Echo Identity project. All I am is broken inside, some echo identity who can't find his shadow always hurts mentally. So some echo identity, basically echo identity is like this echo of a person who can't find his shadow, so who can't find his other self. Always hurts mentally. I found a way to survive without the game. It still eats me alive. I miss it all the same. So yeah, I found a way to survive without the game. Like, I have found other games to play. Like, immediately after Free Realms shut down, I had Destiny. Destiny came out 6 months later, after Free Realms had shut down. I had that game, and I've been playing it for nearly a decade. So, it still eats me alive. I miss it all the same. So I still miss Free Realms, even though I've been playing Destiny all this time. So, yeah, and then going back into, I believe, oh yeah, the pre-chorus, that sun on the horizon. And it's kind of a change chorus. It goes, turn out the lights, the best mistake. So turning out the lights, the best mistake, kind of like turn out the lights, so shut the game off. The best mistake. Like, it was a mistake regardless, but it was the best mistake because I got to, I still had to, I got to experience other games with Free Realms shutting down and got to learn more about myself as a gamer. Like, it was the best mistake, but I feel like it was for the best, but it was a mistake because people love the game so much. but I feel I must say let the sun rest. So, and then going into this next part, which is, but I'd give anything to see it again. This is my favorite song on the EP. This whole song is just a banger. I feel like, you know, it just like the lyrics hit me hard. They hit different than anything else on the EP. I love this song, man. I appreciate if you guys went and checked it out because it is a good song. I really like it a lot. I do. I think it's some of my like best writing, but yeah. And now getting into the last one, Harmony. So the whole title song, the EP. But yeah, let's keep going. How can we have hope when it doesn't exist? Why do we still fight when ignorance is bliss? So, how can we have hope when it doesn't exist? How can we have hope when this game still isn't out yet? Like, Freedom Sunrise is still not out. How can we have hope when it doesn't exist? Why do we still fight when ignorance is bliss? So, talking about, like, why do we still, fight each other on, like, you know, this game coming out or not, when ignorance is bliss? When being ignorant is the best thing possible, you know? Why do we still fight? But I know my reasons, but yours are broke, talking to the toxic part of the community. It's time to change while we're still afloat. So it's time to change, right? Time to change your reasons. And then, so hold on, give it a chance and take my hand. So basically, I'm giving the community, the toxic part of the community, a chance to take my hand. Let's change together, you know? Let's fly where we couldn't before. Let's ride when we couldn't explore. So talking about like fur realms, like mounts. Let's fly. Let's ride where we couldn't before, when we couldn't explore. Do we discover it all, the world of fur realms, or is it impossible to do so? Whatever it takes, nothing's stopping me from achieving perfect harmony. So just going back to the game and doing what we couldn't before, doing all the stuff that we never thought possible, you know? Perfect harmony. So yeah, pretty simple course, but super easy to understand. Just talking about, can we go back to Freedoms and do everything we didn't before? You know, let's do it. Let's do it. Verse 2. I'll give you a chance this one last time to be less ignorant, because again, ignorance is bliss. So be less ignorant. It's worth the climb to the highest peak. I'll show you how, step by step. Let's start now. So I'm basically, in this song, I'm helping the people who are toxic in the community and who don't have hope. I'm going to help you in this song. Like, this is the whole point of the song, to help you out. So hold on and take my hand. Let's, again, it's the course repeat except minus a couple verses. But then we go into the bridge. I've been lost before, but I found no more. Running for myself. I don't need help from anyone. I'll survive on my own. So again, I don't need help from the community or at all. Like, I'll survive on my own. No more running for myself. I don't need help from anyone. Like, I've been lost. I've been like the toxic part of the community, but like, I found no more running for myself. Like, like I've you know, I found my way to be hopeful, and I've been better than the toxic part of the Freedom Sunrise community. But yeah, this whole song is basically about that. And then it goes, so hold on, and then repeating the chorus and then cutting down the chorus a bit, and that's it. That's the whole Harmony EP. The whole song there, the title track, is about helping the toxic part of the community learn to achieve perfect harmony. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the Harmony EP. It was kind of like, it wasn't a planned thing. Like, I didn't know if I was going to release this or not. I didn't know if it was going to happen. But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I finished the whole EP, and this won't be the last time I do music. I am doing more, for sure. I do have more planned, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you did, I appreciate it a ton, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.